hands together for Greg.
Thanks, Rob. I am a new dad myself. I have a 1-year-old daughter and a 3-year-old son, and that has been taking up most of my time lately. So I am going to read to you a little bit of an excerpt from an article I wrote last year on International Men's Day, just to give a bit of a flavour of the work that I'm passionate about and the work that I do with AMHF and Men's Health Australia and other organisations. As someone who wants his son and daughter to flourish across all areas of life, I'm frequently reminded that our society does a mediocre job of highlighting and addressing areas in which males face disadvantage. Thankfully, we have women's offices and ministries working tirelessly to improve the areas in which women fare poorly. This is not the case for men. Our society often assumes that men have it good, that only women carry the burden of gender-based disadvantage. The evidence strongly contradicts this. Here are 5 major areas in which men and boys need our help. 1, males have poorer health. Males have higher illness, injury and death rates and die almost 5 years earlier than females. Yet public research funding for male health is less than 1/3 of that goes to female health. The problem is not that resources have preferentially gone to women, but that health service provision has been inadequate at identifying and addressing the health needs of males. Number 2, the male suicide rate is a national disgrace. 1,814 males killed themselves in 2010. That's more than the entire road toll. Divorced men are 3 times as likely to commit suicide as any other group. 3, males are the predominant victims of violence. Worldwide, men make up 3/4 of suicides, 2/3 of homicides, 3/4 of war-related deaths. In Australia, young men are 3 times as likely as young women to be victims of violence, but there are no campaigns to address this grave issue. Men make up 1/3 of victims of family violence, but there are barely any support services for these men, nor treatment services for abusive women. 4, boys fare poorly in education. 50% more Australian women than Australian men graduate from our universities every year. In New South Wales, the difference between boys and girls' average tertiary admission rank is almost 20%. Boys have significantly lower levels of achievement in literacy than girls and are significantly more disengaged with schooling and drop out more often. And 5, men and their children fare badly within the family law system, as Simon has reflected upon today. Fathers are removed from their children against their will and through no fault of their own. The majority are not granted reasonable access after contested legal proceedings costing thousands of dollars. False accusations of domestic violence or child abuse are not infrequent in attempts to ensure custody of their children. Fathers are then forced to pay child support without any guarantee the money is actually used for the benefit of their children. The system then refuses to enforce access to their own children. So, to sum up, gender equity is not a zero-sum game. This International Men's Day, let us remember that looking after men and boys does not take anything away from women and girls. If we want to create a world where each child can grow to fulfil their greatest potential, we must care equally about the needs and human rights of both sexes. Thank you.